is officially planner season, and if you get overwhelmed and a little bit of FOMO hype around what planner you should buy for the next year, then this video is for you. I'm going to be walking through my entire planner brainstorming process to make sure that I don't fall into the trap of buying new planners and journals that I don't actually really need and don't really support me, which, by the way, totally happened this year. If you're new here, hi, my name is Cassandra. If you like planners, journaling, and also business strategy mixed with professional and personal development, then make sure to subscribe to the channel and give this video a thumbs up, and just stick around for the rest of this brainstorming planning process. All right, before we get into the actual brainstorming though, I wanted to do a review of the 2025 planners and journals that I actually started the year with and how they are going, because I want to review those planners first before I actually make a decision on what to buy and what to spend money on for the next year. We had to move to the other desk because welcome to my entire stack of 2025 planners and journals. It's this pile and also this pile. So last year I fell into the trap and also the hype of just having a lot of planners and a lot of journals because I got sucked into the YouTube videos and all of the TikToks and reels I saw about people saying, I have this planner and I have this planner and I have this planner, and then they had 5 different types of journals, and I was like, I want to be a planner and journaling person. I want to have that many things too. So I tried to create a huge list of planners and journals for 2025, thinking that I would use all of them. Surprise! Out of this stack, I think I only regularly use this pile. This pile is just like obsolete. So I want to walk you all through the planners and the journals that I thought I was going to use for 2025, and then the actual ones that I ended up using. I think we're going to divide this by planners first. So I'll walk you all through the planners and then we will do the journals next. This was my planner lineup for 2025. I have here 1, 2, 3, 4 planners, and the original lineup was actually these 3, and I will link somewhere around here the video of my 2025 planner system, but this is what the original was. Let's walk through this first planner that, to be honest, I think I used once in the first week of January, and then I stopped using it completely. This was supposed to be my finance and budgeting planner. I wanted to use this planner to help me create like a budgeting system for myself. I think the reason why this budgeting finance planner didn't work was because I didn't really even have a real system to follow. I just saw other people sharing about budgeting and finance planners online, and I was like, cool, I want something like this because I want to be more conscious of my budgets and my finances. But in reality, I think because I was venturing into being more conscious about this and also intentional, I just needed a simple system, and this one did not work. Also, let me show you all the inside of this planner. I didn't actually like how the setup was. The months were in the front part of the planner, and then later they had the weeks set up. This planner I stopped using basically in January after I set it up and after I decorated it. The second planner we have is my business and marketing planner. So this planner is a Muji planner. It's the first time I've ever used a planner like this, and I love it. It's similar setup to the finance planner that I have, where they have like the months in the beginning of the planner, and then later we have the weeks set up. And then after the weeks, they have a little bit of space for like notes and, oops, well, there goes my sticker sheets, notes and like jotting down ideas. So I really liked this planner. I thought this was really great. I started ending up using it less to plan content because I would kind of like get really specific on my content ideas. I would write them down in pen. Well, I wrote them down in pen later. I wrote them in pencil first, then would write it in pen when I actually published. And I feel like the beginning of the year, this worked really well because I was really diligent about creating content, publishing, tracking all of this stuff. But then later when life got busy or other things took priority because I didn't want to just publish content anymore, I was actually looking for like stable income, then this planner didn't really work for the marketing pieces. Later, I got hired by another marketing agency actually to be a content specialist. And so I've been working with them since May. And I've been using this planner to track my work with them and really like all of the content that I need to make. So that has been really helpful. And then instead of actually using my finance and budgeting planner for business expenses, life expenses, and all of that, I've been using this planner to track down my taxes that I have to pay, writing down all of my expenses, my revenue, so then I knew what invoices I needed to save for my accountant, what invoices I needed to for myself, and that has been really, really helpful. I really liked this planner. I think I would use this again for 2026, but I actually have some ideas already on what I want my business and marketing planner to look like for next year. I think it's not going to be a bound planner, which is what this is. I want a little bit more flexibility. And the last two planners we have here are really my go-tos. They are my EDCs, which is everyday carry. These are the holy grail of where I stay organized and where I keep track of all the things. So this is my bullet journal. This was the bullet journal that I used in the first half of the year, and then I ran out of paper. So this is why we have a second bullet journal, because this is the bullet journal I'm using for the second half of the year. And really my bullet journal is where I track pretty much everything. I have a dashboard. I track things like what I did that month in a calendar spread. I have my budgets and my weeklies. So in here, I track what I need to get done each week, whether it be for work, for personal, making doctor's appointments, all of that. And then I also do monthly reviews in here. So my bullet journal is like the place where I combine creativity and productivity to really just support me in getting stuff done and working on my goals. I will probably continue with my bullet journal because this has just been a great way to be productive, get creative, and do things with my hands. I think I may change a little bit of it for next year, but I'm not totally sure just yet. That's where I'll be brainstorming that with you all so you can see kind of what I am considering. I just love this. I love my bullet journal. I feel like this just is one of the best things that I have ever done for myself, and to combine just like creative side with my organization and planning side. Now that we've gone through all of the planners, the next thing that I want to go through is this stack of journals that I decided to have for this year. And I am an avid journaler. I have been journaling probably since I was in the second grade. So I always need to have a journal to just brain dump, process my thoughts, process my feelings, and write, because I need a place to write. I just need to get my thoughts out on paper. So I'm gonna go through these two first. And these are what I call my personal emotional journals. I love processing like beliefs, feelings, emotions. I think those are the same thing. Thoughts, ideas, visions, goals, anything like that. Basically, I just write all my feelings and my thoughts in here every morning pretty much. And I ran out of paper in this one, and then I was using a random other journal. And now this is my morning pages journal that I write in, writing down my emotions, processing my thoughts, and all of the things. I still have a lot of paper left in this, so I will probably just be using this. I don't need anything fancy for my like emotional journal. It's really just a place where I feel safe to write all the things without being judged, and to make sure that I have some moments for self-reflection. The other 3 journals are the journals that I think I don't want to say roped into, but I definitely, I think, fell for the hype on the internet because I saw everybody else doing all the things. So the first one is my junk journal. I still like my junk journal, but I don't actually use it. This was started back in February 2024, and I have a lot of pages filled up in my junk journal with just lots of random things. Stickers, processing stuff, writing, emotions again, processing like vacations, what we did, and all of that. And I think the last time I actually wrote in this junk journal, did I date it? Yes. Okay, the last time I actually used this junk journal was February 2025. This was the 2 spreads that I had. And since then, I haven't actually done anything. Oh, I made a little sticker page to collect stickers. And that's about it. I think the reason why I haven't actually been junk journaling is, I don't know. I enjoy junk journaling and I like going in and scrapbooking stuff together, but I think I just wanted to do other things and not be inside, so I just kind of stopped junk journaling altogether back in February, apparently, according to the date in this book. The next journal we have is my travel journal. I started this travel journal because I was going on a 1-month trip to Vietnam in 2024 with my family, and we were going from North to South Vietnam, and it was the first time that I was going back to Vietnam as an adult with my entire family, and I really wanted to document it. This was started May 26th to June 20th, 2024 is when we took our trip to Vietnam. I documented it as much as I could. I drew things. I have like stickers and little notes in here, what it was like to travel. I have like our airplane tickets. I glued in like maps and stuff. So many things in here. And then I stopped. Oh, this is cute. This is my blind box spread. I got really into blind boxes while I was in Vietnam because they were everywhere and they were a lot cheaper than buying them in Europe and in the United States. I was like, oh my gosh, I need blind boxes and I need trinkets. And then I didn't really do anything else with my travel journal, mainly because this year I didn't really travel at all. I don't think we took like a trip. My partner and I, we did a staycation for our summer vacation. The only trip that I took, I think, involved a plane, was flying to the United States in July to visit my family for 2 weeks. And then other than that, it was just staying here in Toledo, trying to save money to have a down payment for our first home, and then also trying to look for work. So this travel journal did not get any use, and I don't know if I will continue it for next year because it looks like next year I probably won't be traveling either because we're still in heavy savings mode for that down payment. And finally, the last journal that I did not even use this year was the media journal. This was supposed to be my media journal, and I wanted to document all of the books that I read this year and also all of the movies and series that I watched. I wanted to also document all of the movies that we watched and then write little like synopses about them and just share what I liked, what I didn't like, and what I thought about it, and just be more critical about the media I consumed. We have January, and then I documented 1, 2, 3 things. And that's it. I think this idea of a media journal is amazing. I think I also felt really pressured by myself to record all of the movies that I watched and write some grand, reflective, critical thinking piece in this journal. And in the end, I didn't give myself the time to do so. Maybe I would do this in not a separate journal and put it somewhere else so it is actually easier for me to document and not such like a big undertaking. All right, y'all, now going through my entire journal and planner collection that I thought I wanted to have for 2025, basically considering the fact that I got influenced a lot into bringing in journals and planners that just don't really match with the season of life that I was in at the time, and also with my planning and reflection system. We are going to brainstorm my 2026 planners and journals to make sure that I actually have systems that support me, and also to see if I want to buy any specific planners or journals for the next year. So we're going to be using this other journal that I got for my birthday, which now that I pull it out, I actually even used it a little bit. See, I have way too many random things. I started this journal on my birthday for like yearly reflection. I even did like a junk journal spread for what I did for my birthday. I had like bingo in here for springtime. I junk journaled my partners and I 10-year anniversary trip. And then for some reason, the rest of the pages are blank. We're gonna use this journal and I'm gonna brainstorm some ideas and walk you all through what I actually want, how my thought process is, and then get your recommendations in the comments if you have any for ideas on planners or journals that I maybe should invest in for 2026. First thing is I want to label the page for my 2026 planners and journals, and then we are going to really just brainstorm all of the planners and journals that I need. The first one is my emotional journal. Like I mentioned, this one will probably not be going away. I need a place to reflect and to really just process all of my thoughts and feelings. And that's what we are going to be doing with the emotional journal. The next one is my bullet journal. This is going to be my everyday carry, and I'm just listing out all of the things that I actually track and the spreads that I have in my bullet journal. Then we have the business and marketing planner. Same thing here. I am listing out the spreads and the trackers that I want in my business and marketing planner. It's going to be a mix of work and brand building. So my regular work as a marketing consultant, and then trying to build up this YouTube channel and my other brand plans to progress. I want to track things like my analytics, marketing stats. I also want to track any business expenses and then also any ideas for business development. This one is going to be quite like a miscellaneous, I guess like a hodgepodge of planner journal-esque. And I want it to combine really my freelance work with all of the brand and business building stuff. The next one that I'm thinking about is actually a new journal, and it is something that I was mentioning before when I was talking about my bullet journal and how I track kind of like my monthly events. And what I really want to do is actually find a journal to do memory keeping in. I have my regular emotional journal to process my thoughts and my feelings and, introspection and all of that. But I want to find a journal where I can journal at the end of the day, something so I'm not actually scrolling on my phone and kind of getting sucked into just social media doom scrolling. I've seen a lot of people use the Hobinichi for this, and I am considering if this is what I actually want to purchase because the Hobinichi is quite pricey. So these are other things that I want to keep track of. So I have down here medical appointments, books I want to read, notable moments, ideas, things learned. I'm kind of thinking that I want a place to just document everything where it has different sections, but I don't want to get like an actual separate journal for like 5 different things. I just feel like that wasn't really helpful for me this past year. So this is my idea for my 2026 planners and journals. I am thinking my regular emotional journal, of course my bullet journal because I want to and love my bullet journal. And then I'm thinking about adding a ring planner. So I haven't had a ring planner in a while. I used to buy them in maybe in the early 2000s when they were a thing. So I'm not totally sure what to do. I've been researching ring planners. I have seen other people use them, and I am curious to see if that is going to be the new addition for 2026. I want to really keep 3 planners and journals. I don't want more than that because I actually carry my planners and journals with me most of the time. Like my emotional journal comes with me on trips, so I'm not totally sure. Okay, so we have the 2026 planner and journal brainstorm done. I really want to minimize the planners and journals that I have, mainly because I don't need that many and I don't use them. What I really want is a system that is functional and one that can kind of adapt to the various seasons that I have in my life, at work, and just with trying to build and grow this YouTube channel and also my new Etsy shop and this brand plans to progress. So I want to simplify it as much as possible. I think the biggest thing, this is what I wrote up here, is that I will always just have my emotional journal. That is not going away because I need to process. I am a Pisces, so I am very emotional and I need to process my feelings. So that will always be there. That journal doesn't really need to be pretty. It could honestly be a €4 journal, or it could be a really nice journal. I think the only other thing that I want to consider is if I really want a new journal for memory keeping, because in my bullet journal, I have a calendar spread where I write down like little things that happened during the week or the day. If, for example, I go on a run, I just write down like I ran 3 kilometers. Or maybe my partner and I go to dinner at a new restaurant, so I like to write those things down. And I want to find an activity that I can do in the evening to basically document the day. Whether it could be something so mundane as like, hey, my mood felt like this, or I'm really proud that I completed this project. Or it could be something like more eventful, maybe because I go to an event on the weekend or I hang out with friends or something like that. I just want to be able to memory keep a lot better because I think as I'm getting older, I'm forgetting things and I want to be able to remember little moments. So I'm thinking about getting a Hobinichi. I've been wanting one for a really long time, but I don't know, they're kind of pricey, so I always go back and forth. And I also don't know if I fully need a Hobinichi. I don't know. If you do have a Hobinichi journal or planner, please let me know in the comments if it's worth it. So that's my thought for now. I do want it to be dated so that all of the days are just laid out for me and I can just go in and pick the day and write. So that's like one thing that I'm considering. And then I do want a business and marketing planner, and I'm thinking it might be a ring planner. I haven't used a ring planner in a really long time. I think I first started using a ring planner like back when I was a teenager, and it was only because that's kind of what was around. I want to try it again because I've been watching a lot of videos about ring planners, and I think I want like inserts to move around, because what I found in my Muji planner right now for my business and marketing is that I would have all of my ideas in the back of the book, but I want something where like I can take that idea and then look at it while I'm planning content for the next weeks or months or anything like that. And I know I can do that in digital, but I actually want to move away from digital planning in 2026 and mostly just use analog. So right now that's what I have brainstormed, and I think what I'm going to do is just let myself marinate on that for a little bit before I make any decisions. And maybe I will buy something in a month or so when I do a little bit more research. But that is what we've got for the 2026 brainstorming planner journaling edition. Let me know in the comments if you have any recommendations based off of what I shared in my own brainstorm, what you like. If you have bought something and you recommend it for sure, or you don't recommend it, let me know in the comments, and also let me know what planners or journals you will be using in 2026. Are you keeping the same? Are you adding any? Are you removing any? I would love to hear what your system looks like, and happy planner season to everyone. I will see you all in the next video. Don't forget to give this a thumbs up and subscribe. Ciao!